When I say the word Marxism to you, what do you think of? Does anything come to mind? Because if nothing comes to mind, that's okay, because I haven't thought about Karl Marx since elementary school when they were teaching us about different social constructs and governments and everything. So it's okay not to know. And this is why I'm making this video. There are certain topics on this channel that it may appear that I'm just picking on a certain group of people, or I'm not, but I'm showing examples of Marxism and communism. But I'm realizing that we don't use those words on a daily basis. We do need to talk about what we're seeing in society today, and that it is a coordinated and calculated set of plan. On this channel, we learn together. So you guys, if you do end up liking this video, please hit the like button. It really helps. And let's just go ahead and get into this topic for today. So I titled this Marxism for Beginners. Marxism goes against anything that is of God. Karl Marx himself said that he wanted to dethrone God because he understood that God and private property were two very important things to a person who believes in themselves. People he would call the bourgeoisie. Karl Marx was a German philosopher. He was born on the 5th of May, 1818, and he died on March 14, 1883. One of his best known titles is the 1848 pamphlet, The Communist Manifesto, and the 4-volume Das Kapital. I just finished reading the Communist Manifesto, and let me tell you, it sent chills through my back, because of a lot of what is going on in that book, a lot of what is being described in that book is happening today. Marx's critical theories about society, economics, and politics, collectively understood as Marxism, hold that human societies develop through class conflict. In the capitalist mode of production, this manifests itself in the conflict between ruling class, known as the bourgeoisie, that control the means of production, and the working class, known as the proletariat, that enables these means by selling their labor power in return for wages. Employing a critical approach known as historical materialism, Marx predicted that capitalism produced internal tensions like previous socioeconomic systems, that these tensions would lead to its self-destruction and replacement by a new system known as the socialist mode of production. For Marx, class antagonism under capitalism, owning part to its instability and crisis prone nature, would eventuate the working class's development of class consciousness, leading to their conquest of political power and eventually the establishment of a classless communist society constituted by a free association of producers. Marx actively pressed for its implementation, arguing that the working class should carry out organized proletarian revolutionary action to topple capitalism and bring out socioeconomic emancipation. In short, what that reads as is this: Marx felt like when he was watching, first of all, he watched how America started to produce, and it was a new country, and how fast it became something special. Marx was mad about that, and he talks about it in his Communist Manifesto. And he believes that with the bourgeoisie, he basically was saying, like, these are lazy people who have you, the worker, working for them, and then they're getting rich off of your back. Everything can be looked at as private property, not just owning a home, but like even family. It's something that you're proud of. It's something that you hold dear to you. In order to brainwash and control somebody, you have to remove their sense of individualism. He really had a hate for these people. And I'm still trying to find the part where somebody must have did something to him and made him get like this, because there's an absolute hate. From the academic perspective, Marx's work continued to birth modern sociology. Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, I remember him being taught to me as the father of sociology in school. Now, what Marx started with, speaking about the proletariat and the bourgeoisie and the communism that he wanted to start, and how he wanted things to be taken over, it was perfected by Antonio Gramsci, who ended up understanding that you had to imply Marxism into all areas of the society, whether it was school, church, movies, music, and everything, and all the entities and all the infrastructure, in the politics too. But that is another episode that I will be making, because we have to know where we're starting from to know what we have to fight against. And yes, fight against is necessary. See, the thing is, in the Communist Manifesto, he does talk about getting rid of the traditional way of doing things, the traditional way of governing. We have to break it apart, basically. We have to break it apart to make our move. Well, today I'm seeing that. I am seeing legislation that is being, first of all, I've seen legislation written that doesn't make sense, and it adheres to an emotional side of human beings. Like, when I use this as an example, when they say we have to get rid of white pilots, too many white pilots, too many white doctors, you cannot, it's not that even you can't say that, it's hire the best person for the job. Or when I see legislation that's written by California saying that they basically have to diversify their staff when they're making movies, or else they're not going to get money from the state. That is a communist approach. That is a communist piece of legislation. And that's why I'm talking about this today. This is coordinated. Okay. And I want to leave you with the last 45 seconds of Karl Marx, Communist Manifesto, on Audible.
In short, the communists everywhere support every revolutionary movement against the existing social and political order of things. In all these movements, they bring to the front, as the leading question in each, the property question, no matter what its degree of development at the time. Finally, they labor everywhere for the union and agreement of the democratic parties of all countries. The communists disdain to conceal their views and aims. They openly declare that their ends can be attained only by the forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions. Let the ruling classes tremble at a communistic revolution. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. Working men of all countries, unite.